This is the Applied Skills video for Module 6, focusing on planning the work and innovating. The context of this discussion in the overall practice course is that this module is the first to serve in our second context grouping for the course, transitioning from the societal legal context to the project process context. This week, we focus on understanding the life of a project in each of its phases, the understanding of the life of the project, and covered in the AIA text provides us with a baseline framework to understand how a project starts, progresses, and concludes. As a baseline, it may be added to or subtracted from depending on the individual project needs, the unique attributes of the firm, and the priorities of the client and the project team, in addition to the various project delivery methods that could be overlaid as discussed in the life of the project video for this week. Once we as professionals understand that this is the baseline, we're able to modify it, adding or subtracting to it to better serve our firm and project goals. This is innovation and the focus of our applied skills discussion for this week. Your required course readings found on Canvas this week includes 2 documents from Doblin, focusing on the 10 types of innovation brochure and one on a tactics overview. These 2 documents are pieces that come from a much more comprehensive book titled 10 Types of Innovation, The Discipline of Building Breakthroughs. This content is not specific to the practice of architecture, but is a great resource for developing a set of skills and a mindset about where innovation can occur in many different professions. The 10 types of innovation discussed ranged from everything from the profit models being used to the customer engagement and everything in between, including processes, structure, services, etc. They're categorized in 3 groups: the configuration, the offering, and the experience. The tactic overview document lists a comprehensive list of tactical approaches within each of these 10 types of innovation and the 3 groupings that are suggested approaches to rethinking that specific part of the company's model. So if these are the 10 types of innovations listed in the previous document, this document here provides you with a full comprehensive list of different strategies that can be used, different tactics, if you will, to innovate within that area of the business. If you're interested in more source material on this topic, beyond the required reading documents provided for this week, I encourage you to either consider getting the book or visit the website, which I've shared here, at doblin.com/10 types. And this website itself walks through some additional context about this framework for innovation and an overview of those 10 types that we will be touching on briefly in the reference documents for this week. So have a look at that if you're interested. This week, your discussion post, you'll be responding as if you're identified as a project manager on the team for a potential upcoming project with a client. You're asked to create a work plan for the project proposal. In creating that work plan, you must define the project phases and timeline and provide a general scope of services that your firm will provide on the project. This project schedule and scope of services is representative of the baseline approach your firm may take on any project of a similar scope and scale within the office. Use sections 5.1, Life of a Project, and 5.2, Defining Project Services from the AIA text to assist you in the process of developing your baseline work plan for the project this week. However, the firm in this discussion post is trying to grow its identity and differentiating itself from its peer competitors, other firms that may be competing against it to win the same project. As a tactic for doing so, you want to identify and highlight 2 specific ways in which your team will innovate on the baseline project process to provide a unique project outcome or experience for the client, should you win the project. As you develop your 2 areas for innovation within the baseline work plan, you'll be utilizing those 2 Doblin readings provided on Canvas to assist in identifying the types of innovation and specific tactics for innovation being utilized. So you'll be using these 10 types of innovation, as well as the tactics provided here to explain how your 2 suggestions for innovation fit into this framework. To make these innovations more appealing to the client, they must align with the client's values and their priorities for the project and process. Part of making this innovation effective and appealing to the client or to your firm is to be able to tell the story about why this is being given special attention or prioritization as a part of the process. How does it impact the end goals of the client or the firm? You'll be using the five framing lenses reading from the Ethics in Architectural Practices book in the case study text to identify for each of your proposed innovations which of the 5 framing lenses from that reading is being prioritized. What may help you is to review a document that we've provided in the supplemental readings for this week and share it here, titled 5 Lenses versus Services. This document is one analysis of the 5 framing lenses, my own from a previous semester, where we had a look at how different aspects of the services that we provide as architects may be prioritized to align with these different lenses that for different prioritizations. Your interpretation of this might be slightly different from this provided here, and that's totally fine. But it may help in providing some additional context in understanding to which each of these 5 framing lenses represents. So what I mean by that is the lenses discussed within the text are listed up top here: architecture's purposefulness and social beliefs, material production, aesthetics or design, architecture's ideology and rhetoric or theory, and the lens of praxis, ethics that emerge in architectural professions. So if these are different lenses through which you can look at the work that we do, again, and briefly described here, and more at length described in your readings for this week, I've gone and listed the different related services that we might provide as architects that might be given special attention or prioritized as a part of the process if this lens is of the top priority to the client. So for instance, if your client has a special interest or prioritization, or the firm has a special prioritization on the lens number 2, material production, you may pay special attention as a part of your project to design development, where materials, craft, and detailing are developed on things like sustainability and the content of the materials, and things like visualizations, models, 3D walkthroughs, etc., that help to best explain those aspects of the project to the client. You may also pay a higher attention than you would if a different lens was prioritized to things like construction documentation, lead and specifications, the approved manufacturers provided and the basis of design, and requirements for experience or quality of construction. Construction administration will become really important as a phase, and the shop drawings and mock-ups will be critical to the process because everything you're focusing on in those phases has to do with the materiality of the building and how those materials result in the end product of the design. So this document walks through that logic of the process and the services provided as it relates to these 5 lenses discussed. And I encourage you to look at that if you think it'll help support your discussion for this week.